All right. First and foremost, I'm gonna say all praises be to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim Makar, Dash, and then I'm gonna say double honors to the apostles and elders, great most on shalom to the sincere elect, teaching the truth in faith and sincerity. Quick topic I want to speak on is based upon, the spiritual fight that we are involved in, man. Just the spiritual fight that we are involved in. Because at the end of the day, as long as we're in this flesh, it's just going to be a fight unto the end. And that fight is spiritual. Spiritual attacks. Sometimes our mind being, plagued with certain thoughts and, even just the spirit upon these people in this world coming against you. And that's really a true fight. That film by Denzel Washington, Fallen, is really a real battle that we here in this faith, starting off with apostles and elders on down, go through on a daily basis. Well, really, man, everybody is essentially in a spiritual fight in terms of, spirits and forces that exist. It's just that some individuals are just in darkness and don't even know that they have spirits on them, and have been basically given over. The Lord is essentially given over their minds completely to be under that rule. You know what I mean? Because a person that's a freak or a FAGGOT and all of them kind of people, they're just completely engulfed with demons. So when you think about it, it's not really a fight at that point because they're just engulfed in it. They're completely just in there. But we in the faith who have the understanding, have the knowledge, have the wisdom, and more importantly, have the spirit, have the faith, we are actually aware, most times of when we're being attacked. And that's why it's important that the Lord gave us the tools in which we need to fight. And main point that was coming to mind is just, things that have been happening. Seeing spirits and people and seeing, people be doing things and saying things and not knowing they got spirits on them. You know what I mean? Like you and I might go into shop, go and order some food and places all bugging out. Being a demon, with how the food's served, making you wait almost an hour and shit, much more. Whether it's people at work who try and, make you move out of line, It could be people in your family, it could be anybody. It could be your own lady. Anyway, this is Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of His might. Right. So our strength is in the Lord. Our strength is in of our own selves. That's why it's always important whenever we pray or even when we, so-called make plans to say, Lord willing. Because at the end of the day, it's always according unto His will. And the strength that we have in this word, in this truth, is through faith, which is a gift that we had to, get predestined with from the foundation of this world. So anybody who's in that mind thinking that they're so great because they did this and they did that and you did this and you that. Nah. That's not where our strength lies. Put on the whole armor of the Lord that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Let's go into the word wiles here. All right. Mepho. DI. Right. Trickery. lie in wait, cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery. Yeah, them, tricks and you know what I mean, events that take place when Satan tries to basically get you drawn out, man. You know, whether things kind of happen that might, whereby you might get carnal and stuff. I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything, man. Because Satan comes in different ways. That's why it says that they were able to stand. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. See, our fight. So even if things take place in the flesh, let's say you even you might have to defend yourself or whatever it is. Even if you get into like an actual fight, it's still spiritual, because everything starts off spiritual before it is physical. You know what I mean? It's like the light upon you offends their darkness. In fact, let me go good versus evil. All right. I know it's in Ecclesiasticus 33, but I just want to go straight to the verse. All right. Two against two. I know it's Ecclesiasticus 33. Yeah. Ecclesiasticus 33 and 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and sinner against the godly. You see, good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and sinner against the godly. And really, man, it's deep. Good is truly set against, evil. And it's because when we are out in our day-to-day life, the Spirit of the Lord is upon us, and that light is upon that light is upon you. And these people out here in this world are in darkness and engulfed with demons. So they might respond a certain way. They might, give a certain look. They might just shout. Car horns might just go off. People might fucking pass out. Things, for real, man. Things happen like that. Hey, man, I remember many years ago, there was a old school Nigerian Jake, but that came to camp. But he was a proper staunch Christian, like a plantation Christian. And we was going back and forth. I mean, the guy wasn't really, rude or try to fight us or anything, but he was a proper Christian. But to be fair, he actually did come up cool. But obviously, he obviously heard these words, but was still in that Christian spirit. And I kid you not, we never saw that guy for maybe another year or two after that. And then one time I was in a different part of London with a brother, and just in front of us, we saw a dude pass out and started having a like an epileptic fit in front of us. And no lie, when we looked at the guy on the floor, it was the same dude that came to camp in that Christian spirit, like the previous year. And it was like, wow, it's like, you know, you actually don't even know why that even happened, you know, because it's like, at the end of the day, when he heard that truth, heard the truth that day, that guy was either marked for salvation or marked for judgment, man. But anyway, it says, good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. Yeah, you know, and that's exactly that. There ain't no maybe middle ground. It's either people are in the spirit of the Lord or not. It's either people are for this truth or against this truth. They're not in between. That's why, for the most part, it's always important to, you know, congregate with brothers, man, to be around that like-minded force, that like-minded spirit, man, that like-minded kind of energy, you know, because it breeds more righteousness, man. That righteous vibe. Because already, like in our daily life, we're like already, what's it called, man, around these people anyway, these demons in the world, these bug outs. Anyway, this is let me see what. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? Yeah, and a prime example is like what we've seen with a certain camp trying to be joined up with NOI. That's madness. You know, and you know what I mean. And even though they pretend like they're righteous and pretend like they know the truth, like what are you doing with them guys, man? And what communion have like with their darkness? And that's why for brothers, you know, of course, we obviously use the word, but we don't, you know what I mean, abuse it. For the most part, brothers are either with each other or, you know what I mean, alone. And if we have to, you know, go out in this world, and sometimes you have to be around these people, we obviously have to be extra circumspect, because these people can do anything out here. And what Concord have Hamashiach with Belial, or what part have he that believeth, or the infidel? Yeah, so like, why should you be out and about with people who don't believe, or people who scoff, or so on and so forth? You know, joining up with the forces of darkness. You see, but the point here really was to focus on that spiritual battle, man, light versus darkness, which is what we experience on a daily basis. All right, let's go back to like Ephesians though. Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. So against principalities, spirits, demons, forces. You know, that's what we experience. So whether it's, thoughts in your mind, even being ill. Remember, like, when the apostle Peter, when his mother was ill, and the Lord healed her, it said that the Lord rebuked the fever and it left her. Like, sometimes, not sometimes, but all the time, get ill, and certain health things, problems, they seem to stay, or they come and go, whatever it is. Ultimately, it's demons, and it's part of our fight. And that's why part of the fight is to obviously pray and take herbs against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, yeah. Whether it's in their secret councils, they're accusing the brethren, they're trying to stop this faith. They try, but ultimately there's no enchantment against Israel. Starting off with those that are of the elect, pushing the word. They might try to do things in their airwaves and signals and much more, but ultimately, good evil cannot overcome the spirit of righteousness. Wickedness cannot overcome good. All right, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, yeah, our mind, and having the breastplate of righteousness, yeah, doing righteous works, right, doing the work, right, and if we are elect, that's gonna make us stable in that time. Right? And having your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, our foundation. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherever you shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. So through faith, we're going to be able to quench all the fiery darts, all, not a bit of it, not some of it, all the fiery darts. And them darts can come in many ways. They can come in front of you, behind you, on top of you, at your feet, can come anywhere. But guess what? Through faith, we're going to be able to quench all the fiery darts. And that's powerful, man. All of them. That's why faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And through faith, you'll be able to quench all the fiery darts. Not some, all the fiery darts. No matter what. Whether if you've got a family, with your seed and women and children, and you're going through certain battles and things are happening, or whether you're on your own and you're going through your own battles, whether it be at work or whatever it is, through faith, we always go back to fasting and prayer. Even Matthew, when the Lord was fasting and he was battling Satan, with the scriptures. And remember, there was that verse where the Lord spoke about some things don't go out but by prayer and fasting. Prayer, fasting, reading, doing the work. It's all part of the fight. But above all, taking the shield of faith, wherever you be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word. That's why we have to read. We have to do the work. We have to push. Because when the Lord was battling Satan, he battled Satan with the scriptures. And that's why we have to be immersed in the scriptures, whether it was watching videos, reading physically reading, or playing the scriptures in your headphones, or whatever it may be. Praying always with all supplication in the Spirit, watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. But yeah, I hope and pray that was an edifying video. With that, I'm going to say, praise be to Yahweh Shah Shabbat Shalom. The apostles and elders great. Most until next time. We going to say, Shalom.